Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Papa Bale, and welcome to the channel. Let me explain what's going on here. We got the pulse motor rotor and the reed switch. And what's going on here with the reed switch is that there are two lengths of wire. One in the center with the screw in it, and it's bobbing back and forth. And two, the long, thicker one that's supposed to stay steady. Well, anyway, there's two different fulcrums here because the length of the thicker wire allowed it to sway a lot more, and therefore the screw in the middle would hit less. So I changed the fulcrum where it's going to bend at to right here on the thick one. Pretty much that's where it bends at, and then the thinner one is regular. The fulcrum's up here, it bends here. So, and that's just to keep the switch nice and tight so that it hits. It's too long. I thought long would be better, but it's not. It flops around. It's not as good as they say it is. You literally gotta go brain dead to make that shit work. Just kidding. Just kidding. But it's probably true. Alright, so let me put it up to 5. I mean, kind of see the fulcrum thing at work here. Let me zoom in for you. And you get a lot more bending, a lot more screw knocks per cycle. I still don't think it's hitting every time because it's flopping around. The screw's loose or something, I'm not sure. And the position may be a little off. But I do now prefer gluing the reed switch down. It's a lot easier for me. I can make better videos when I'm not using both my hands to try and keep everything from falling apart, basically. And put it up to 10. See if we got anything, because all this experimentation, you got to remember the rule that less is more. Okay, that's a rule. That's not just a saying, it's a rule. And it's 10 volts, 0.4 amps. If you keep on adding stuff, like in sculpture, you start with a solid, or a square, and you chisel away stuff to create something else. Less is more. And I'm not necessarily following that rule. Like over here we have a 7-wire coil, over here we have a 5-wire coil, and here we have a 4-wire coil. That's a lot more than just, say, 1 wire, but it works. Like the minimal amount that you could have to make it work efficiently, like if you have a range, your pulse motor has a range from like not working to working immaculately and having at least 750 RPMs for a rotor this size. And I mean, each magnet weighs probably 0.8 of a pound. They're heavy. This rotor is literally 2 toroid magnets, right? That's how much space you got left because of the weight. And I mean, if they're sitting directly on top of one another, you could imagine how much weight has to be on there to make it that flat. But I think I'm going to make another switch with a shorter, just everything a little bit shorter. But I think the longer fulcrum for the one that moves, and then the shorter fulcrum for the one that is supposed to stay is a good combination. Now, how I'm going to make that work, I don't know. I'll think about it, and I'll get back to you with that. But it looks like that's the best way to use the copper homemade switches. That's awesome. It's louder, but it's like hitting every time, and it's hitting soundly. See if we can get 15 volts, 0.7 amps. We got some arcing going on. I tried putting a capacitor to capture that arc and recycle it basically, and it like stopped the rotor, so I took that out. I might have like hooked it up wrong, I don't know. And then I also had it connected to the switch, and then I also had a node connected to this capacitor over here. Right now, that's the flyback circuit. The end of the flyback circuit is that capacitor over there, and it's also hooked to the base of my MOSFET transistor. So what would be a light or a controller or something that needs to be powered from the base connection is being filtered into that capacitor. So wham, wham, it's all being channeled into the rotation. I'm going to jack it up to 20 real quick, see if we can't stop the reed switch from swaying. $25 volts. Look at that, white hot. That is hot right there. Okay, I'm going to back it down now. Alright, now this should, I don't know exactly how long it's going to pulse because that's a pretty strong magnetic load on the rotor. I wonder if hooking up one of these smaller transistors, but every time I hook one of those up it gets fried, so I don't know. Alright, so this is zero power. It was going pretty fast though, so I don't know, but it does have that strong magnetic load on it. Oh man. You'd think it would slow it down after a little while, but since it's running on capacitance, it's not slowing down. Alright, so I wonder if I hook one of these AC capacitors up to the positive of the reed switch and the positive of, or the negative. Let's do the negative. So it's after the switch hits, it filters into this capacitor, and from there we connect one end of the negative end here and one end of the negative end on this coil. Let's see what happens. I'll be right back. Peace out.